It's going to be exciting. There's heaps of buzz. We're really looking at a championship. That's what this team's capable of.
Perth being home, I just want to bring a championship to them so bad.
The physicality of the WNBL is something that's going to really push me and push me in the best possible way.
Super talented team. It feels like it's the right team for me, right place to be.
Every game's going to be different. I think there's not going to be any easy matchups this year.
There's just so much talent that I like to be able to play against the best.
Townsville this season, they've grown their game and expanded their game.
I love it here, and we're going to be a championship team and gives 110%.
This isn't just the start of a new season, but a new era of women's basketball in Australia as we open WNBL26 at John Cain Arena with a blockbuster clash between the Southside Melbourne Flyers and the University of Canberra Capitals. We've got opals, we've got rising stars, and we've got legends of the court in action today as the Flyers look to bounce back from the wooden spoon last season with a new look roster, while the Caps are keen for a first finals appearance since 2022. The players have arrived. So much for us to look forward to today. Jess Webster with you in commentary, and courtside for us is Megan Huswaite. And a few moments ago, she caught up with Flyers boom recruit, triple Olympian and four-time WNBL champion Kayla George.
Lots of new pieces to the teal puzzle, headlined by you. What can we expect to see in terms of basketball style from the Flyers this season?
Yeah, I think really fast-paced. We've got some big gazelles. Well, I'm the biggest gazelle, but no, we've got some really athletic people on the team. So I'm looking forward just to rebounding and just dishing it up and getting those runners and just, getting some sweet assists. But, I think that the group's really great and we're gelling really well together. So, yeah, look, I'm really excited and, first game nerves, bit of jitters, even myself, seasoned vet of 18 seasons. So it just means I care, I guess. So I'm really excited to see how the girls rock up today and how we perform.
We're excited too. Thanks for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
A remarkable career that writes a new chapter today for Kayla George back in Melbourne playing for the finals. I'm delighted to welcome to the coverage two of the best to have ever graced this competition with over 600 games and 7 titles between them. I start with two-time Flyers championship winner and former captain Beck Cole. Beck, welcome to you. Well, this really is a momentous occasion for the competition to kick off arguably the biggest season opener at John Cain Arena today.
It really is. It's an amazing deal for this league. Like you said, it's a new era, there's new faces, new names, and to play on the stage of John Cain Arena, it's amazing. I was lucky enough to be part of the first game ever in WNBL history, and this is going to be a momentous occasion for these players. And we have some greats coming to watch this game. It is one to watch, and I can't wait to see what these amazing players can put on show for us today.
Sitting alongside you in commentary today, 5-time championship winning player and coach and 2006 Commonwealth Games gold medalist Carly Wilson. Carly, it is so fabulous to have you with us in commentary, and as Beck just touched on, we're starting a new era today, and what a game we've got to look forward to.
So excited to be here and to be able to watch this momentous occasion. As you said, Beck, it's a new era for the WNBL, it's a new era for us, and we've got two of the best teams battling it out there today, and I just can't wait to see the show that they're going to put on for us.
Beck, let's get to some of the new players in the Southside Melbourne Flyers roster, of course headlined by Kayla George, but they've got a number of players to look forward to this season as they look to lift themselves off the bottom of the ladder.
There are a lot of fresh faces. They're a very new team. Unfortunately, I was part of that wooden spoon season last season.
We won't touch it too much.
But they're looking to really gel. There's going to be nerves out there. This is the first game of the season. It's new. We don't have a lot of pre-season here at the WNBL. We don't have months and months together. So one person right there on screen is Manuela Poch. Hasn't she had an outstanding off-season? She got a silver medal with the Gems at the Under-19 World Cup, and she's one who's going to step up. She's a strong body, can do it inside and outside, and I can't wait to watch her grow each and every game.
Well, let's head into the Capitals camp. Megan caught up with Opal Jade Melbourne a few moments ago.
Great way to start the season at John Cain Arena. It's been a few years since the Caps have had a win first up. How big would a victory be today?
It has, you're right. I think a victory today would be unreal. We've really built a roster that wants to make a statement this year. So to come out John Cain Arena, it's an unbelievable venue. great way to kick off the revamped WNBL season. Let's hope the Caps can start off on the right foot.
The Caps have built a roster around you. You've shouldered a lot of the leadership and scoring responsibility in the last couple of years. How good is it going to be to free up a bit?
It's going to be unreal, and that's pretty much what we wanted to do in the off season. I'm not a 20 points per game scorer, so bringing in firepower like Zatina, Sarah, Caddy was our aim, and then Nards is bigger and better. Jada comes back. I'm so excited about our roster. I could go down the line and praise every single one of them, so super exciting. I can't wait. The chemistry's been unreal for pre-season, so we're excited to see how it goes on the court now.
Well, she is the heart and soul of this Capitals outfit and brings so much energy to the group. Carly, Jade mentioned that they wanted to build a roster that wants to make a statement in WNBL26. Who are you looking forward to seeing in action?
There's been some big signings for the Caps in the off-season. Of course, Caddy Sissoko, who we are so excited to see out there today, the French international. But most of all, I cannot wait to see the return of Sarah Blitzarves. It'll be her first WNBL game back, returning from her spinal fusion and disc replacement surgery. She is in some of the best physical shape of her career. I've gone to a couple of trainings this week and she is looking fit and fabulous out there, so I just can't wait to see her out on the court.
Entering her 16th WNBL season, she's won a couple of titles. She won gold at the Asian Cup also this year. It is a remarkable story to come back from the injury that she has had, and she's going to be a big-time recruit for this outfit.
Well, I think at one point it was, will she ever be able to play the game again, let alone be able to play at this level?
And I remember I actually sat down with Sarah at a coffee shop in St Kilda. She told me the news, she showed me the pictures, and I started crying. I've played with Sarah, she's one of my best friends, and it was a really emotional time. And to see her from day one of getting that surgery to where she is today, like you said, Willow, she is in some of the best shape, but what I love is her attitude. She's so grateful to be back on that court, doing what she loves, and she's the perfect addition to this Canberra Capitals team.
She is primed and ready to go. Rounding out our commentary team today, you heard from her earlier, she's returning for a remarkable 19th season covering the WNBL. We're lucky to have her, and it's a big hello and welcome to you, Megsy. What's the atmosphere like at John Cain Arena?
Thanks, Jess. Great to be with you all this afternoon. Anticipation and crowd building here at John Cain Arena. It's a new era of the WNBL, as we know, and it's great to see so many new faces here this afternoon. Some very familiar and famous faces from around Melbourne too, getting on board with our marvellous WNBL. But we did see some of our true legends of the game pre-game presented on the court. Past and present opals, some great names: Michelle Tim, Shelley Gorman, Alison Cook, Tess Madgen, two current Opal stars, which we'll catch up with at halftime a little bit later. We know round one and early wins are crucial in this season, and all teams have some injuries or niggles right around the competition at the moment, but a win first up today would be like gold for Southside Melbourne Flyers or the UC Capitals, because it's been a few years between first round wins. It's been 4 years since the Caps won in round one. Jade Melbourne, just a second season teenager in that team. And for the Flyers, Bet Cole, it was back in 22-23. So both coaches will be thrilled if they can get a win here this afternoon.
Thank you, Megan. Love your work as always. Such a great atmosphere building at John Cain Arena at the moment. These two sides looking to get their season off on the right foot. Here is Lauren Jackson, the greatest of all time, delivering the match ball. What wonderful scenes at John Cain Arena.
It really is, and I want to go back to that historic occasion where I was actually playing on court with that goat right there, LJ, and look at the atmosphere. We're in for one tonight, ladies.
And how about the Aussie Opals, as we mentioned, winning gold at the Asia Cup. We're going to see some scenes from that earlier this year. We've got a few Opals in action today, but women's basketball here in Australia keeps doing remarkable things, but that is a wonderful achievement, of course, led by Kayla George. I mean, she just continues to produce week in, week out, year in, year out. What a player. I love this.
And isn't this the energy that George is going to bring to this Southside Melbourne Flyers? She is a veteran. She knows the game inside out. She has new faces on this team. She wants to lead. Like she said, she's that big, beautiful gazelle that wants to rebound and get the ball up and down the floor.
And Carly, she hasn't ruled out wanting to play in the next Olympics as well, Kayla George. She is hungry for more.
She is phenomenal. And we look at this starting five, there is scoring power and athleticism across both sides. But you will see one notable absence, being Satina Okuzo, who injured her knee in the preseason, the Townsville tip-off. But Tage Morrell has stepped up and she has been elevated into that starting five spot.
Who are you looking forward to make an impact immediately, Beck, out of that starting five?
For me, definitely on the UC Capitals, I think Sarah Blitzarves is going to be one to watch, and with the Flyers, Izzy Bourne.
So here we go, WNBL26 is underway at John Cain Arena. It is the Southside Melbourne Flyers taking on the Canberra Capitals. These two sides desperate for a win. Bit of an anticlimactic start, but here we go. Going to get it underway, and it will be Morrell and the Caps with first possession. Jade Melbourne, who turned into a bit of a recruiter as well in the off-season, helped put together this fabulous roster. Looking to hopefully be back in finals for the first time in a couple of seasons. Shot from the corner. Can't go down by Poch. Looking forward to seeing her battle against her sister today. A couple of attempts early for the Caps, no score.
It's a bit of a shaky start for probably both teams, but you've got to remember, this is a huge opening stage for both of these teams. Pre-season can feel like a drag, so they are itching to get out there today, but there's going to be nerves. There's going to be nerves from both teams. There's going to be nerves from the coaching staff. Look, the referees even had a bit of a nervous start with the jump ball. So, you know, it's important that both sides take their time, use those nerves, and then play themselves into the game.
Jade Melbourne with an early look at a triple. Can't get it to go. Rochi looking to go inside and will remain with the Flyers.
And although they didn't get the finish there, that's exactly what the Flyers want to look to do. Push it in transition, as less dribbles as possible.
Rochi to inbound. What a player she has been for the competition as well. And we have our first points on the board. And it's Tara Reid to provide for the Flyers.
And Reid is so good cutting off-ball action. You're going to see a lot of that from her this season.
Of course, a member of the New Zealand national team, a couple of seasons with the Flyers. Poch to Blitzarves, one of their new recruits. Morrell handing it off to Melbourne. Drives hard to the basket.
And one matchup, ladies, that I cannot wait to see unfold tonight is that between Jade Melbourne and Maddie Rochi. What they love to do is penetrate on each other. They take it personal. They're part of the Australian Opal squad. And trust me, I've been a part of those games, and it is grab your popcorn material.
I think it takes that to the next level when you know that these players are vying for the same position in the Opals team. So it's one thing to be on the same team and you're in an Opals camp and everyone's getting along, but when you're playing against each other in the WNBL, you want to get that one up on the person you're playing against.
Here's Rochi handing it off to Kayla George. And new colours today. Izzy Bourne again, another recruit for the Flyers. Getting a possession early, back to Rochi. Poch takes it down the floor. And draws the contact.
And the UC Caps, they are going to be so hard on both ends of the floor because they're so long, they're so athletic. You see Rochi trying to shoot over big hands, long bodies, and then we see Poch here just driving coast to coast. They're going to be an interesting team for me.
I think if there's one word that you wanted to use to describe the Capitals, it would be versatile. I think all the players can play multiple positions. As you say, they're long. I think the Caps are going to be really looking to push in transition, and they can do that now because they're not relying on Jade Melbourne doing that every time.
Started today in the absence of Satina Okuso. I wanted to ask you, Carly, the Caps have had some great bigs as role players over the years. They've got Poch, who can stretch as well, and she guarded Lauren Cox last season, but how important is she going to be to this lineup?
Super important, super important. And I think that when I was saying before about having long athletic players, then they're going to be able to inject in Zatina, who just gives them that back to basket strength, true 5-man to really draw the attention inside to open up their shooters on the outside.
So we hope to see Zatina in action in about 4 to 6 weeks as she recovers from injury. Shot there from McKenna Marissa. Wonderful college career with Penn State University. So Caps with an early 1-point lead. Flyers in possession through Rochi. Can hand it off to Bourne, but it's come unstuck as the Capitals take it down the floor. Potch goes all the way herself.
Isn't that iconic Potch move? She's long, she finishes so aggressively down the key. What a great start for her.
George handing it off to Rochi, eyes the three and knocks it down. And that's lifted the crowd here at John Cain Arena.
And they're going to have to watch that with Maddie Rochi going forward, how they defend those handoffs and the on-ball screens. Going under is now not really an option. They're going to have to make sure they trail her so she doesn't get any open looks from the three-point line. And in the off-season, she really worked on that, and I definitely became way more consistent. So, like you said, what do you pick and choose? And there we see Melbourne. Anything you can do, I can do better. Straight back at ya.
She gets on the board. Marissa from deep. Can't get her first points in the WNBL. Rebound to Blitzarves, hands it off to Melbourne. Gives it back to Blitzarves. He's lost it. Possession will remain with the Caps. So a few nerves we've seen in the opening few minutes, and these sides also still feeling each other out a little bit.
And it's always the way, I know, well, back when I used to play, I always wanted preseason to go longer. I never felt like I was ready, but I've spoken to these teams and they're saying, no, we're ready to go. But that doesn't mean that you don't have those nerves in the opening game. This is a big, big stage to have an opening round on. And another three here from Maddie Rochi, can't drop that time.
Caps by 2. Potch from the wing knocks it down.
And Potch has been working on that. I've seen on her Instagram that she's been using that time in the off-season to work and elevate her three-point shot. She was drafted in the 2024 WNBA draft to Atlanta Dreams, so she needs to add that to her game for her to go to that next level.
She started brightly. Izzy Bourne draws the foul. She won the preseason MVP. She started her season in fine form.
And she'll fit in perfectly to this Flyers team. She is under Christy Harrow as her coach in the off-season with the Kilo Thunder in the NBL1. Teammate of Maddie Rochi, so I think they'll have a flow going early.
Here is Rochi, denied by Melbourne. Just a little taste of what that matchup might produce for us this afternoon. Zars hands it off to Morel, working on Bourne. Back to Melbourne. Shot clock down to 5. Blitzarves from long range. How about that?
Welcome back, Sarah Blitzarves. That's doing what she does best.
Handy lead now to the Caps. 5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Reed, Marissa from the corner. Not quite found her range yet, a couple of attempts. Potch. Wow. Just can't get it to drop.
Caps are looking good though, pushing the ball. I think they're looking very, very dangerous out in transition. It's something that Southside Melbourne Flyers will be needing to really lock down on their defensive transition.
And it's all coming from the defensive end. If you see a lot of the time, Flyers are starting their offense way past the three-point line. So it's not as easy to get into the key, get through their offense. They've even made such a big impact on George early. She's getting it at the elbow or higher. So that's what they're getting into their transition game. And I'm liking the look of this so far.
Rochi to George. No good. Blitzarves mops it up, runs it down the floor. Just a Sissoko, a new face, is offline. George to Rochi, two veterans combined. Rochi for two.
Seas parted on that one. I think Paul Goris is going to have a thing or two to say about that in the next timeout.
Caps by 4. 4 minutes to play in first. Sissoko no good. Ball with a rebound. Rochi v Melbourne, out to Bourne. Wide open for 3. Can't get it to go. Back-to-back NBL1 campaigns with Keeler, as you mentioned. Christy Harrow finally twisted her arm and got her across.
I think it was only a matter of time before that signing happened for the Flyers.
It's a foul, no score.
Well, this is the WNBA experience. Hayley Peters on the exercise bike, just hopping off for Southside. She trained for the first time on Monday. She's a replacement for championship player Jazz Dickey. She's had some Achilles problems in the back end of the WNBA season and will be on limited minutes today. And with the ball right now subbed into the game, Southside recruit Hayley Andrews.
Thanks, Megan. Yeah, Hayley Peters, 75 games in the WNBA, 4 years, 4 teams. And has experience in Europe as well. A bit of a basketball nomad, now finds herself down under for a new experience.
We also see Jada Clark being subbed in for the Canberra Capitals, and she's got an interesting story, having done her ACL recently, but is now finally back on the court. Another big 3 from Sarah Blitzarves, but the Caps are expecting big things from Jada Clark this season. She's had a full NBL1 campaign under her belt, and she's another really exciting player that we should be keeping an eye on this season.
So heading to a timeout here. A strong start to the Caps, Beck. They lead by 7 points. They'll be pretty pleased with how they've gone about things.
I'm really impressed for their first season opener game. They're getting the ball through hands. They're playing great D. They're really pushing the ball on offense. And yes, a couple of times it's been a little stagnant, but they're going after those O boards, and everyone has been involved so far getting a touch of the pass.
Let's take a look at the Amy replay. A couple of big back-to-back triples for Sarah Blitzarves and her return to the WNBL. That'll get her confidence up.
It certainly will. And look, she is a phenomenal shooter, and it's so wonderful to see her out there, and the Caps getting her those plays. You can see them working the ball around, finding her open on the three-point line. She's going to knock those down every day of the week.
Go over. Yep. Come up. Hand back.
And Willow, you spoke of Jada Clark. As someone who's done both their ACLs, it's so great that she's had that NBL1 campaign just to warm up, prepare, because yes, it's physical, but it's also so mental. So for her to be confident in her body, in her gameplay, yes, it's her first time back in the WNBL since rupturing her ACL, but like you said, they want her to be a big part of this rotation, and for her to grow in confidence each game, like she's another versatile player to add to their list for them.
Down to Megan courtside.
Well, I was in Christy Harrower's timeout, and she was furious with the way Southside are not challenging the offensive board. She pleaded with her players to at least challenge and to be physical. Hayley Peters, as we mentioned, is now subbed in for Izzy Bourne.
Thanks, Megan. Another couple of points to Tara Reid. Margin cut to 5. Interesting first quarter so far. Sissoko off the board.
She needed that one too. You know, she'd had a couple of shots inside the key, another 3. Shots weren't quite dropping for her. She needed that easy layup to get herself going.
Described as a unicorn of all things.
Yes, and I think that's a pretty good description. So when we talk about a unicorn, we talk about someone that can play multiple positions and score from multiple positions, but can also defend multiple positions on the opposition, and that's certainly her. And I know that Coach Paul Goris is really going to be looking to her to push that fast break and really create for the Caps in transition, but she's also got a really strong 3-point shot, so they're going to be able to rely on her in the half court as well.
Hayley Peters, welcome to WNBL 26 from the corner.
What an impressive way to start your campaign. 3 off the baseline.
That's that three-point shot I was referring to. Sissoko, she can do it off the dribble. She can do catch and shoot threes, and she's got some strong back to the basket moves.
Let's go, Flyers, let's go.
Hayley Andrews, ball in hand.
Louder.
This is Peters. Can't get it to go.
Really like that move, though. She had the mismatch. She was bigger, stronger. I would like them to see go to Peters early. She's hot.
Good D from Rochi has caused a turnover.
Flyers ball. South Capitals bring a ton of checks in for Melbourne.
Jade Melbourne having a rest on the bench for the Caps. And the Flyers close the gap as we head to quarter time. Rochi can't get it to drop. Andrews under the basket, good defense. Wait, Jada Clark, we mentioned, coming back from an ACL. Frank Catazano also onto the floor for the Caps. That's Blitzarves. Shot's no good.
And you can see it's physical here early in the first quarter. Both teams, you can tell, a bit, you know, complaining a little bit, but this is the way of the game. It's gotten more physical. You need to go up off 2 feet and hopefully you get it and one.
Final minute of action in the opening quarter here. Sissoko for 2.
Flyers will need to get a hand to her. You can't just leave her by herself on the elbow. She's showing why she's a unicorn right now.
Played the last couple of seasons in Europe. Played for Phoenix in the WNBA in 2023.
Sarah Blitzarves got a foul on that last play, defensive play then, but that is something she does so well, gets in the lanes and tries to steal the ball. It's something that you actually have on her scouting report, and it's not very often that you have a defensive skill on someone's scouting report, but that's how great she is at getting in the lane and creating a fast break opportunity for herself.
Hayley Peters at the line. She returned to the WNBA this year with Connecticut, her first appearance since 2019. Here she is in Australia, getting some early points in her WNBL career. And the Caps, an error, and they've turned it over. So the Flyers capitalise here. Close the gap as we head towards quarter time. Rochi on Brand Catazano. She finds Kayla George. Just can't make it count. Last play to the Caps. Sweeping pass is a beauty. Sissoko with the finish. Putting an exclamation mark on an entertaining first quarter of WNBL 26. And as we head to quarter time, it is the Canberra Capitals 22, leading the Southside Melbourne Flyers 16. Welcome back to John Cain Arena. Entertaining first quarter to get the new season underway. It is the Capitals 24 leading the Flyers 16. Katie Sissoko in her WNBL debut. 8 points in that first quarter. Jess Webster, Beck Cole and Carly Wilson with you in commentary to get the second term underway. Flyers sharing the round. Rochi. Again, it started brightly so far in the opening quarter. 5 points, make it 7 for the match so far. What did you like, Carly, from the opening term?
For the Capitals, I'm really liking the way they're sharing the ball around, and we've got some very even scoring across the team. So as you said, Sissoko with 8, Poch has got 7, and Blitzars has contributed 6, and that's going to be the big difference from them this season compared to last season and the last couple of seasons, actually, with Jade Melbourne having to shoulder most of the work here. Now it's going to be able to be shared amongst multiple players.
Let's head courtside to Megan with an update from quarter time.
Well, I was in the Canberra huddle, and as you mentioned, Sissoko has led the way offensively in the first quarter, but it was her defence that earned praise from coach Paul Goris for the elbows action against Kayla George and Izzy Bourne in that first quarter, the way she handled that. Foul trouble has been an issue for her in the pre-season, fouling out in Townsville and also in pre-season games against Sydney. She's just got the 1 personal foul to the first quarter.
Indy Bowyer has found herself at the line. She's got a taste of WNBL as a development player for the Flames and Fire. And she's come across from the Caps. Another one who's wearing new colours, WNBL26.
Tell you what else I've noticed new colours is the referees in their new beautiful purple tops. So shout out to the referees, looking very nice in this new era of WNBL.
Got a rebrand in every way, shape and form, I think. It's great to see.
I think these are the sort of fouls that Jade Melbourne needs to avoid. The Caps need to keep Jade Melbourne out there on the floor, and they're going to be looking to her for full court pressure. They're going to be looking to her to be able to lock down some of the key players on the opposition. So those cheap ones in transition, yes, she had her hands up, but there was some physical contact there. They're the ones we just want her to step right back from and make sure she doesn't get any cheap fouls.
The Flyers have started brightly in this second quarter. They've cut the margin to 3. Time for the Caps to find a response. Poch also started her season in fine form in that first quarter. And that's a foul to Blitzarves.
She's so athletic, isn't she, Beck? She can get on those boards, and she's so strong. We spoke earlier about how physically fit she's looking, especially considering she's just had back surgery. But what an athlete out there. You have to do your work early to box her out, or she's going to get on the offensive glass.
She's so strong. I remember back at training days when we were both at Flyers, you'd be playing one-on-one, and I'd be like, yeah, I've got you, Sam, there. I'm strong. I go to the gym. And man, was it bully ball. So I love seeing this from her. Again, the fans love seeing Sarah back in the WNBL, and she is just really going to gain with confidence. But Maddie Rochi, hasn't she had a great start so far to this quarter?
Oh, that was beautiful to watch from Rochi. Poch, oh, what a move! From Clark. She's going to head to the line. But just on Blitzarves as well, named co-captain alongside Jade Melbourne. It's such a cute story. Jade grew up watching Sarah play, and now is, you know, got the captaincy alongside her this season.
What a full circle moment for her. If everyone watching hasn't seen it, get on the WNBL socials, get on the Canberra Cap socials, check out the photo that Jade Melbourne had taken with Sarah Blitzarves back in the day. It was a Traralgon game. Sarah Blitzarves looking pretty fresh-faced herself, but Jade Melbourne is a baby out there. I think she just finished floor wiping, sitting under the basket, all excited, had to get a photo with her favourite player, Sarah Blitzarves, and now look at them co-captaining the Canberra Capitals in the Women's National Basketball League.
Caps by 4. Flyers have lost it. There's Jade Melbourne. She's quite a massive smile on her face. She always has a smile on her face, I think.
She certainly does. She has probably a couple of times without a smile when she's had her front tooth knocked out twice. So once in the WNBL, most recently in the WNBA, she's spoken and said her parents have told her she has to wear a mouth guard. So you will see a new addition for her this season, wearing the mouth guard, protecting those poor teeth.
Coming off a fabulous WNBA season as well. Continues to grow, and we love seeing Jade Melbourne and her career progress. He's born in the corner, the preseason MVP. Shot is off target. That spills to Melbourne. Now to Potch. It's barrier for the Flyers, looking inside. Again, it's come unstuck for the Flyers.
It's the right look, though. They want to be going inside to Izzy Bourne. She is a superstar of this league. As you said, MVP of the preseason tournament. She is a Canberra junior. I'm showing my age here, but in my last season, her and her sister Callie would come as development players on the road. These little children coming along and so it's so wonderful to see her out there. But you know, she credits a lot of her success to her sister, Callie, who is also a superstar basketballer, especially in the NBL1. And she gets quite emotional about it, actually, about how close she is with her sister and what a special relationship the two of them have.
And she is on cue, adding a couple more points to her tally. Of course, she's part of the Opals as well. It's the Asia Cup this year. Melbourne. Shots offline. Flyers take it down the other end, and that's a nice finish. Hayley Andrews has come across from Adelaide.
And we see young gun Monique Babonki as well in the game number 9 from the UC Caps. Also a teammate of Manny Potch from the Flyers, who won silver at the Under-19 World Champs. So it's amazing to see these young guns and the next generation of the league come into this game and make an impact.
And I think we will see a really improved version of her this season. It's her second year in the league. You know, she's played her first rookie season last year. The Caps are going to be looking to her more to really step up for them. And I think what they're going to be wanting from her is consistency. So she was a real fire for them off the bench and came in and gave them a real spark. So now they're going to be looking for that to be much more consistent this season.
Nicole on the board for the Caps this season. And we talk about, and she's got the ball now, we talk about players having a good off-season. Well, she's had one of good health this time. Last year she was battling pneumonia and long COVID, something that affected her all season long. She's in great health and ready to fire in WNBL 26.
Thanks, Megan. He's Reid off the board for 2. A good little run here to the Flyers. As we head to a timeout, it's the Caps 33, leading the Flyers 29. So the Caps by 4 as we head to a timeout, less than 5 to go. Beck, your thoughts on the second quarter so far?
Flyers have definitely come out with much more intensity on the defensive end, and I think you could tell Paul Goris was yelling at them about defensive transition. They've just got 2 or 3 full court layups in a row. Someone needs to pick up the ball. Someone needs to be on safety. But I'm sure Christy Harrower is much happy with his second quarter compared to the first for her Flyers.
Rochi leading the way with 9 points for the Flyers. Reid up to 6 for the Caps. Potch with 9, Sissoko with 8, all coming in that first quarter. Caps by 4 as we come out of the timeout here in the second quarter. There is Potch on screen for the Flyers. There's Manny Potch taking on her sister today. Nards over in the Capitals camp. Haven't seen too much of the sisters going head-to-head yet, but we'll keep our eye on that.
We did see Zatina, though, on the court. Even though she's not able to play, I love seeing her that she's still vocal, still helping her team, because you can still be a leader and you see different things when you're off the court compared to when you're on. So love seeing her bringing her input to the team.
Absolutely, and from all accounts, that's exactly what she's been doing this whole pre-season since she's been injured. She's been early to training every day. She's engaged the whole practice. She's been an additional assistant coach of sorts, really coaching the players and helping out where she can. She's itching to get back out there.
So she'll be out for about 4 to 6 weeks with that knee injury. What an inclusion she's going to be to this Capitals lineup, who are desperate to return to the finals. They've won 9 titles in this competition and they're hungry for that one more.
Yeah, they certainly are. And Jade Melbourne has made that very, very clear in a lot of her interviews. She is desperate for that 10th banner. She said, we train every day with the 9 banners hanging up. I want to bring a finals place back to this city. She says, I love this city. I've fallen in love with this club. I've fallen in love with this team, and I really want to get the team back in that finals race.
She did say in a pre-season interview she's just sick of losing. So she picked up the phone in the off-season, called everyone that she wanted to get them across. She's got that look in her eye this season, Jade Melbourne. Here she is with ball in hand, swinging it across to Blitzarves. Bounces off the rim. It's kept alive though by Munga to Blitzarves, back to Melbourne. Caps by 4 as Melbourne goes herself. She's pretty happy with that move too as we head to another timeout here in the second. This on the A-near replay. Jade Melbourne doing what Jade Melbourne does best.
Got to have split line there, I would imagine. You know you're playing against a player like Jade Melbourne. She's going to get around her defender. You cannot stop her every time. But it means that everyone else, in terms of team defense, need to be ready to help out so she's not getting those easy layups and really getting her juices flowing, getting into her groove.
What do you think has been the key area of growth in her game that you've noticed maybe over the last couple of seasons with some WNBA experience now under her belt and coming back into our competition? Where have you seen her grow?
Her leadership has really gone from strength to strength. I think we know that she's athletic. We know she can get to the rim. We know that she can play some D, but I think she's really had to step into a captain's role much earlier in her career than we would see most stars in this league, and she's really taken it and run with it. I know the fact that she's been is now co-captain again this season, it would have been easy for her to have taken a step back and they could have said, look, we've got an Olympian here, we've got someone, Sarah Blitzarves, with so much experience, let's let her take the reins. They haven't needed to do that because she really has taken those leadership skills and she is doing a fantastic job for this club.
Here's your shot to win an official WNBL game ball signed by the WNBL team of your choice. Scan the QR code on screen to enter. Wouldn't mind that. I mean, what team would you guys want, of course? Former Flyers, former Caps. You're going to pick a team you'd like to get a signed ball from?
I think I've got a few Caps signed balls at home I could probably donate. Look, the league is
What's one more to add to the collection,
Carly? That's right. But no, I think any signed ball from any team in this league is a prized possession.
Absolutely. And I'm still playing, so my back boot is just filled with 6 to 8 basketballs. So right now, I can't handle any more, guys.
Caps by 6. Make it 8 as Munga add some more to her tally.
It's a nice poised move from Munga, and I think that's something that she brings to this team, Sarah Blitzarves. The steal and the fast break, which I mentioned earlier. But back to Munga, she is an import, but she's coming off the bench. You don't see that often in the WNBL, teams using their import spots for someone to come off the bench, but I think it shows how valued she is in this team for the skill set that she does bring. Jade Melbourne calls her the heartbeat of the Canberra Capitals. She's won the Players' Player Award multiple times. She's just so well-liked and a wonderful person to boot. And that sort of slow, poised, three-point shooting, offensive rebound we saw before, those are those skills that she brings that sometimes go unnoticed but are so important.
When can we start calling her a local? She's in her 4th season in our domestic competition now, and as you mentioned, won the Players' Player in 2 of her first 3 seasons. Goes to show how much they value her, but we can claim her as an Aussie, I think.
I think so.
And Reed is so good at getting 2 feet in the paint. Her first step is as quick as they come. And I think we're really going to see her grow into a bigger role. She came off the bench after some foot injuries last season, but I think we're going to see noticeable difference in her game and what she brings to the Flyers. And even though that's a foul, we spoke about how versatile the Caps are. You have your 2, 3, 4, 5 men all over 6 foot who have guard skills but then can post up. So their mismatches are going to be a crazy hard thing for teams to deal with.
It's Bowyer, long range, can't get it to go. Is a foul. 2 minutes left in this opening half. A pretty close contest. The Caps have just kept the Flyers at arm's length so far.
Definitely felt like a momentum swing earlier in this quarter towards the Flyers, but I think that, as you say, the Caps have just held strong. They've managed to just settle down their offense. They might not be getting as many transition baskets, but they're using time off the clock and they're executing well in the half court.
The Caps have run that play a few times now, and their execution is beautiful. That crisp pass to the cutter, oh, I love a good pass.
Well, the WNBL26 season is officially underway. Expect to see world-class athletes, fierce rivalries, and some truly epic basketball. Get all of your WNBL news, info, and tickets at WNBL.com.au or scan the QR code now that is on your screen. Blitzar's adding to her tally. What a return it has been so far. And now the Caps lead is in double digits. 90 seconds to play in the second quarter. Rocci and Melbourne renew their acquaintances.
Maddie Rocci wanting a foul on that play. Both players have such good defensive intensity, and especially when they're playing against each other.
They really do, and this is what makes the game so fun here in the WNBL. We have such good matchups. We have WNBA players coming to play in our league. We have amazing players over from Europe. The talent is just getting next level here, and I love that we have, you know, new names, fresh faces in this new era. It's all just really matching up to be such an exciting time for women's basketball.
Caps by 10 as we're entering a timeout here in the second quarter. They led 24-16 at quarter time. As Max mentioned off the top, it's been a long time since these two sides have won a game in the opening round. No doubt that will be on their mind. Getting off to a winning start is always just such a valuable confidence booster. What do you think the messages are in the Caps camp at the moment, Carly?
For me, I'd be, if I'm Coach Paul Goris, I'm saying, like, let's get back to some easy transition baskets. I think in the first quarter you saw as soon as there was a change of possession, the Caps were out. They were flying up the court to try to get that easy transition basket, and it slowed down a bit, which you expect, you know, as the game goes on. But I think this last minute and a half, while they're going to be wanting to control the momentum, of course, and do that through pace, if they can get a few cheeky baskets and really extend out this lead, they'll be taking that momentum into the second half.
There's a turnover. Again, Melbourne v. Rocci. Melbourne wins out.
And they're scout, they know each other like a book. They know it better than the back of their hand. And again, it's such a good matchup. The defense leading to those easy layups, that is what has been almost that change and that separation between these two teams.
Reed is offline. Melbourne cleans it up. Gives it off. Oh, big collision. That's a foul.
That's that fast break that I'm talking about, that we were seeing in the first quarter, that we haven't been seeing as much in the second quarter. You saw a quick outlet pass to Poch, who then drives hard, draws the foul. Another foul on Maddie Rocci going into halftime is definitely not what the Flyers are going to be wanting.
And I think with who the Flyers have on the floor right now, you have Hayley Peters, the new face to the Flyers, with 5 points in just over 8 minutes. Maybe look at a mismatch for her. Her footwork seems really good. Or her first shot was a 3 out of a baseline play. And then maybe even look at Reed. She's got a nice 10 points. Maybe they did look at her for an ISO, but look at some ball movement to then get her penetration.
We are, of course, on Cheeseburger Watch. Beck, you always keep a keen eye on the cheeseburger.
I sure do. Nom, nom, nom. I don't want to be the one missing the free throws, but look, it is Saturday. Could be my cheat day if anyone's up for a sneaky cheeseburger after the game.
Just noticed the crowd starting to get a little bit involved on that second shot at the line from Poch. They're hungry.
That's where I spoke about Peters. She was on Jada Clark, who she's much stronger than, bigger than. Look at those mismatches if the Caps are switching on those screens.
Caps by 13. A handy lead for them. Born from deep. Get it to go. It's ripped away by Blitz Arms. She's having some game. 12 points already in her comeback. Couple of triples as well.
And 5 rebounds to go with that as well.
About and a half of basketball. And she's on cue, flicking it out to Poch from long range. It's no good. Can Clark keep it alive? She does, but has turned it over. Tarochi has been one of their best so far. To Bourne, drains it from outside the arc.
And that is big for Bourne coming into the half. The Flyers need her to get going. She's the Townsville tip-off MVP. They need some Bourne action.
So at half-time, it is the University of Canberra Capitals 48-38. A late three-pointer from Izzy Bourne, giving them a little bit of a boost heading in to the half-time break. Let's get down to Megan courtside.
I am with Sarah Blitzarv. Sarah, what did the Caps do in the first half that Paul Goris asked for?
We're just trying to pressure up the floor. Obviously, everyone's a bit nervous today. You know, you're going to be nervous on game one, but adding in the John Cain Arena, it's going to be even more. So making sure defensively we're working really hard, we're pushing the ball up the floor, and we're just trying to find how we play and play like that.
You lead the game with 12 points. It's been 568 days since your last WNBL game. I think the smile on your face says it all.
Yeah, absolutely. I think my motto at the moment is just I'm happy to be here, and I really am. This is awesome. Very grateful to be back and be healthy.
It's great to see you back. We'll let you get into the rooms. It's the Caps leading the Southside Melbourne Flyers by 10 points at halftime. We'll have all the highlights and analysis on the other side of this.
Follow that voice inside my soul. That compass tells me where to go. Everything I touch turns to gold. It's automatic.
Well, we need that right now.
I'm meant to hear someone.
Sorry?
I'm meant to put my earpieces in.
Yeah.
Can someone help me with an earpiece, please?
No, I think it's really exciting to play at John Cain. Hopefully this can be the norm and we have to move to John Cain in the very near future because, you know, the league keeps growing so much.
Playing on the biggest stage in Melbourne, I think is huge for the league, huge for women's sport.
Yeah, there's so many things to look forward to playing with Kayla. Not only, the way she plays and her energy is something that is so contagious. And hopefully adding into my leadership skills is something that I'm really looking forward to.
You know, I'm playing against Kayla, Jade against Rochi. I think it's huge. Yeah, I mean, growing up playing with Kayla was huge. She's always been a mentor for me and an inspiration, motivation for me too.
Up fake, into George Lowe, rolling. Oh, that's smart, formidable. Kayla George.
She's a legend of the league, legend just in basketball in general, and I think it's going to be a huge matchup. She's still killing it at her age, and I think, she's going to kill me for that, for saying that. But Kayla's an amazing player, an amazing human and mum, so I'm really looking forward to it.
Tried to kick it back out, but has turned it over straight to George. Passes to Bradley, and they make them pay down the other end.
Round 1, John Cain. It won't be the only time that we're there, and hopefully we can get a great crowd and showcase the amazing sport that is women's basketball.
Welcome back to the WNBL26 season opener at John Cain Arena. At halftime, it is the UC Capitals leading by 10 over the Southside Melbourne Flyers, 48-38. The Caps led by 8 at quarter time. A pretty entertaining opening half of hoops to get us underway in the new season. Jess Webster with you alongside dual WNBL Life members Carly Wilson and Beck Cole. Beck and Carly, what do we like from the opening half?
I think there's a lot to like so far. So far, it's the defensive pressure from the Capitals that I'm really liking. It's full court, it's up, it's in their face, and it's causing turnovers. 12 turnovers we've seen the Southside Melbourne Flyers have, and it's just generating so much offence for the UC Caps.
Beck, let's take a look at the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights. Well, the Caps started strongly. It's been a half that has ebbed and flowed, and players have had their moments. Poch and Reed also, that we'll speak about in a moment, having good halves. And so Maddie Rochi as well, just picking up where she left off last season as well.
There's been so many fresh faces, new colours, new teams, and what we love to see is everyone coming out so confident, also with some nerves, finding their feet and getting some really good rhythm. And I can't wait to see what this second half has to bring, because like we said, there's been some jitters, there's been some turnovers, but they're going to keep gelling, they're going to keep growing, and we've seen some beautiful plays so far by individuals out there.
Both these clubs looking to move up the ladder this season. The Flyers won the Wooden Spoon last year. The Caps wanting to return to finals for the first time since 2022. This is at Blackmore's head-to-head. Tara Reid and Jade Melbourne. Reid with the 10 points in the opening half. Melbourne with the 7. Have you seen that battle, Carly?
Yeah, she's doing a great job, and we've spoken about how this season she really doesn't want to have that scoring load, but she does want to get double-doubles. So she's already very much on her way there with her 6 assists.
And Beck, one player in the opening half that has set it alight on the forward shot chart. This is Sarah Blitzarves. Welcome back to the WNBL. God, it's so great to see her on the floor.
Whether you're a fan, you're a player, we love that Sarah Blitzarves is back in this WNBL league. And hasn't she been impressive? She does it from the outside, the three-point line, but she's so versatile and strong. She gets those rebounds and she can put back as well.
Well, make sure you stay with us for a massive doubleheader of hoops today. Coming up tonight, it is the new look Geelong Venom taking on the Sydney Flames from Geelong Arena tonight at 7 o'clock. Looking forward to that battle, Carly.
Yeah, absolutely. New Venom, new WNBL, new everything, and we'll get the first look at them tonight.
Well, we started with a bang here at John Cain Arena at halftime. It is the Caps by 10 points over the Flyers. Stay with us. We've got a massive second half coming up after the break.
You're making me sweat, you're making me cold, and I love it. And I love it. Want some more? I'm up in my zone, touching the sky, feeling the flow, and I love it. And I love it.
Halftime at John Cain Arena in the WNBL26 season opener. It is the Caps by 10 points over the Southside Melbourne Flyers. Let's head straight to courtside because Megan Huswaite is with a couple of very special guests.
I am with two Opals Olympic champions in Ezzy Magbagor and Alana Smith enjoying the action today. We'll start with you, Lan. Congrats on winning the 2025 WNBA Defensive Player of the Year, taking in some WNBL before you play in Unrivaled.
Absolutely. I think Australia has quality basketball, so I have to come and watch.
Have you seen some good defensive performances today?
I've been pretty impressed with the defensive performances, and I can't wait to see what we've got for the second half.
Lan, of course, in the defensive all first team, and Ezzy was in the defensive second team. It's become a yearly occurrence for her. Ezzy, great to be home in Melbourne watching the WNBL.
It really is. I think it's kind of nice to just sit back, watch to see how the WNBL has grown over the years.
Nice to be with Len as well. We don't really get this off-season as much, so just nice to be here.
You'd be so happy to see Sarah back in action and healthy and having a great first half.
For sure. I think it's always nice when, you know, someone comes back from injury and is better than they were before. So I'm just so proud of Sarah. She's killing it. Yeah, just really proud of her.
Great to catch up with two legends of Australian basketball enjoying the WNBL here at John Cain Arena.
Thanks so much, Megan. Yeah, great to have some legends all throughout John Cain Arena today, Beck. You can feel the excitement about where this competition is heading.
It's so good that I have to talk about the fact it's the atmosphere. We hear the crowd on their feet. We have legends of the game. We have the GOAT in Lauren Jackson. We saw Michelle Timms there earlier. And then you talk about the NBA, coming to the NBL with Josh Giddey as well as Dyson Daniels. And then look, we're here in the WNBL, we have our WNBA superstars in Ezi Magbagor and Alana Smith, and they just want to see this game grow. And isn't it so good to see superstars at our game?
Certainly is, and they're witnessing a great contest so far in this opening round clash between the Flyers and Caps, who lead by 10 at the main break. Kayla George looking to make an impact in the second half. It's yet to hit the scoreboard, Kayla George. It does take a while for teams to gel, particularly in the first game, and when you've had such a big roster changeover like the Flyers have. Rochi bounces that off the rim. Reed almost pulled in the rebound. She had a very strong first half. Caps come up with the ball. Sissoko, 8 points in that first quarter. Takes on Bourne. Can't add to her tally. Watch with the rebound.
What an athletic rebound that was. Poch coming out with the same intensity as she has in that first half.
Blitzards enjoying her comeback to the competition. Can't get that one to go. Rebound to Bourne. It's come across from Adelaide. Bright young star of Australian women's basketball, George. Can't find her first points. Sissoko feeding it to Blitzarms, off the glass for 2. Up to 12 now, Sarah Blitzarms, and 6 rebounds as well.
And Willow doing exactly what you wanted following on from that first half. Great defense. Morel has really made an impact, making it really tough for George to get any sort of shot that she wants. And then they're doing that straight into offensive transition. So as a former UC Cap, I'm sure you're very happy.
Always happy when the Canberra Capitals are winning. I think we're going to really see a bit of a change in momentum here from the Southside Melbourne Flyers. They're going to have to lift their defensive intensity if they want to start slowing down the scoring of the Canberra Capitals and also generate some scoring power from themselves out of the defense. So I think we can really expect to see that pressure lift from them.
George, a couple of attempts at it. Great defense by Morel. Beck, what are the expectations of the Flyers this season? Winning the Wooden Spoon last year, a turnover on their roster. Where do you see them performing? As a wonderful shot from outside the arc by Sissoko.
Well, when you are the Wooden Spoon, you don't want to do that again, ladies, because it is not fun in any way, shape or form.
Time out here in the third, the Cavs 53 lead the Flyers 38.
But with these new faces, what you really want to do is get that cohesiveness back. What do you want to stand for? And Christy Harrower, this is her second season as the head coach. It is all new. So what do you want to stand for? When you're versing another team, what do you want to be known for? Is that on defense? Is it on offense? And all the players, you need to buy into that concept and you need to play for each other, have each other's back. Yeah, it's going to take a few games. You're not going to be great game one, but you don't want to be. So for them, they just want to go back to the basics and what's your why for why you want to play. So I think it's going to be such an interesting season for them.
And they've got some work to do here in the third quarter as the Caps out to a 15-point lead. As we resume play here in the third quarter, Caps by 15, a new game-high lead for them. Flyers looking to make inroads on the deficit. Can George get herself involved? She hands it off to Rochi. Back to George. One-on-one against Morel. Gives it off to Reed. Loses it. Regains it. And spills to Blitzarves.
I would have loved to have heard what Christy Harrower had to say in that last timeout. It was definitely a momentum-killing timeout for the Flyers. She could feel the Caps really starting to pull away with the momentum, and she called that timeout to try to stop it. I think there might have been a rocket or two launched in that timeout.
Got to get a shot up here as the buzzer goes down, and Potch with the finish.
And the bank is open on a Saturday, ladies. But isn't that just a killer? You had Izzy Bourne with that amazing defense, but then we see the unicorn pass on to Potch, and she gets it off the bank for a 3, and her teammate Sarah Blitzarves very happy about it.
Make it rain, Southside Melbourne!
So Potch finds herself at the line. This really is a momentum killer for the Flyers. Capitals now well on top. And here they go again. Win the turnover. Melbourne to punish. They're firing on all cylinders now.
And Melbourne's defense on Rochi has been outstanding. She's been able to pick the pocket of her a few times. But for the Flyers, don't just leave Rochi on her own to dribble it up the floor.
Yeah.
Get her some release passes so she can just breathe for a second as well and make it easier for her to set up the play.
A 21-point lead to the Capitals. George gets on the board.
Even it might be interesting to see if the Flyers, do they junk it up a bit? Do they go into a zone? Do they try a half-court press? Just to switch this defense and make it something different every time the Caps come down the floor.
Yeah. Melbourne takes on Rochi. The foul is called.
It's always hard going into a zone when you know you're playing against a team with so many three-point shooters, so many weapons on that three-point line. But you're right, maybe it's time to throw something in there, see if they can try to slow down this momentum, slow down the fast break and easy scores from the Canberra Capitals.
3 players for the Caps in double digits. Blitzarves 14, Potch with 14, Sissoko on 11 points. Melbourne looking to join them.
And this is something Jade's been really vocal about in the preseason. She's so excited to have so much offensive power support around her this season. It's not going to be on her to score 20 points a game. She's going to be able to rely on different people every game stepping up. And if the Canberra Capitals are going to continue like this, where they're having 4 and 5 players in double figures, it makes them very, very difficult to stop.
Exactly right, because the league isn't the same as it was 10, 15 years ago, where you could maybe have 1 or 2 people in 20 plus and you win a game. The talent is incredible now. There's so many scoring options in each team. You need more than just 1 or 2 people, you need 4, and then you go to the other side of that. If you have 4 people in double figures, how hard do you defend? If I want to shut down Willow for your 3 ball that I know you're going to do, okay, the next person's open for the shot. So it's so exciting to see how much talent there is out on this floor.
Certainly was a focus for the Caps in the off-season. Certainly added a lot more firepower to their roster. Blitzarves to Sissoko. Nice finish. 13 points now for their new recruit. Bourne swings it across to Rochi, and now George. This hasn't been our afternoon so far. Caps by 22. 5 minutes to play in the third. A really important 5 minutes coming up for the Flyers to try and wrestle back some of this momentum. It's been a strong third quarter to the visitors so far. They're led by 10 at halftime and have blown it open.
And if the Flyers can just chip away at it, they don't need to win this game in every single possession. But if they can get some stops, get it back to that 10-point sort of margin by the start of the fourth quarter, they're still definitely in it to come back and win this game.
Here's Peters, handing it off to Rochi. Reed to George, back to Reed, lovely teamwork. Southside ball.
And that's the sort of defensive effort, momentum-changing plays that Southside need. They need to see more of that, getting in the lanes, creating opportunities from their tough D.
And if they're getting good offensive scores like we just saw through that execution, then you're actually able to set up your defense, get in those correct positions and pressure the Caps.
And it slows down the Caps' offensive transition. It's really difficult to get the ball and run and get quick, easy scores when you're having to take the ball out of the net every time.
Bourne comes up short. It's Poch. Going to kick it out. It goes through the hands of Blitzarms and out of play.
We've spoken about how great it is to see Blitzarms back out on the court.
Here's your chance to score bragging rights when you put your WNBL knowledge to the test. Scan the QR code on screen to play the WNBL quiz. Can you beat the buzzer? I'd love to see you, Carly and Beck, take on that quiz. I reckon your knowledge is pretty A-grade. Great move from Rochi, and she'll head to the line. Great to see so many fans in attendance today at John Cain Arena. How great is it to see the WNBL at JCA?
And this is what we want. As athletes, I remember playing on that stage. This is why I play the game of basketball. You want these moments. You want the thrill. You want the atmosphere. It gets you going. And just to see the season opener be here, I think we're making a big statement here at the WNBL.
You played in that historic first ever game at John Cain Arena, Beck. What was the feeling like?
It's almost like you can't put it into words. You sort of black out a little bit, but I just remember I loved the moment. And for me, playing in front of your family and friends, I'm a Melburnian, so at home at John Cain Arena. But the fact we were able to get so many fans there and we were able to showcase not only do we have great players, but also great role models, which I think is so important for this future generation to see.
Absolutely.
And then, what other sports can we talk about where so many Olympians, so many successful female athletes, or athletes in general, that are doing so well overseas in various leagues in Europe, right here in your backyard, to be able to go to all over our country and watch our superstars right there. Such a wonderful opportunity for our up-and-coming basketballers, both male and female, to come along and watch our superstars out there.
And we speak about, you know, it's an exciting era for the WNBL, but it really is an exciting era for women's basketball globally. You see what's happening in the WNBA, and it's exploding in its popularity, and there's so much hype around it, and hopefully we can feed off that a little bit here down under. Melbourne off to Clark. Nice layout for two.
Great movement off the ball there from Clark. Sometimes you see people get a bit stagnant out on the three-point line, especially if you're a three-point shooter, but that was perfect. Penetration down the middle from Jade, and then a slashing cut to finish it off with an easy bucket for Jada.
It's Reed under the basket. Gets it done.
And great to see Jada Clark get involved in this game. We know she's coming back after a long stint on the sidelines with an ACL injury, and if she can follow in the Canberra footsteps of Christy Wallace, who had several ACL injuries, made it all the way to the podium at the Olympics with the Opals last year and to the WNBA. There's been a lot of adversity stories come good at the Caps, including Christy Wallace and Gemma Potter.
Yeah, absolutely. As we mentioned, role models everywhere you look. And there's certainly one of them for Jada Clark, who made her WNBL debut as a 17-year-old, has played a full NBL1 season with the Perry Lake Hawks. Great to see her back and doing some good things today. The Caps in control here in the third with 3 minutes to play. Can the Flyers generate a little momentum here in the back end of the quarter? Will the Caps continue their run? Munga can't get it done. Follows up with the defense, but it's going to stay with the Flyers.
Another person Caps fans are very excited to see back in the Caps roster, but not on the court, is Natalie Hurst. So obviously she's been coaching in Adelaide, head coaching in the last couple of years, did join informally the Caps roster again as an assistant coach last season, but now back as the lead assistant. Now, we spoke earlier about the Canberra Capitals having 9 championships. Natalie Hurst has won 7 of those 9. Can you imagine? 7 championships for the same club, and is now back where she belongs as a Canberra Capital in the lead assistant coaching role.
Was that an omen? Here's Peters for 3. It's no good. What are your expectations of the Caps this season? As we mentioned off the top, there's a lot of hype around them this season.
Yeah.
They've got some great recruits. They seem to be really energised and hungry to get another title.
I think I went to the WNBL launch for the Caps, and one thing that really stood out to me was how much fun the team seemed to be having. And there was a lot of talk about good vibes. There was a lot of talk about the team really getting along, hanging out all together outside of basketball training, just loving spending time together. And there was a real distinct sense of, you know what, win, lose or draw, we're going to have a good time this season and we're going to do it for each other. And it's that sort of culture that breeds finals performances that lead to WNBL championships.
They've started brightly here in the season opener.
And we see Reid there getting to the rack again, something she does so well. But she's really put the Flyers on her shoulders right now. We just need a couple of people to go along with her and put some offensive pressure on the board for them.
16 points and a couple of assists for Tara Reid this afternoon. Van Catazano misfires, wins it back to Poch to Munga. The heartbeat of the Caps. George with a rebound. Shares it with Peters. Borg back to Peters. Swing it across. Now here's Andrews for 3. Nice work.
And it's nice to see Andrews get more opportunity this season so far in game 1. She did have a great and sort of, you know, outstanding season there in the NBL 1 with the Sandringham Sabres, really coming into her own. And I think it will be interesting to see her get more minutes and see what she does in that backup point guard position under Maddie Rocci.
Off the benches, made an impact so far today. Peters goes inside to George. What are you made of Kayla George's game so far, Carly?
I think, you know, she's not bringing the scoring power that we've seen from her in previous seasons, but you know she's bringing so many other things. Her leadership, her rebounding. She's trying to pull the team together and inspire them to get themselves out of this hole that they've dug themselves in. And so, yes, at the moment, she's probably looking at this stage would be disappointed at her scoring output, but the game is far from over, so that's something that she can, you know, definitely make an impact on. But it's all the other things that she would be bringing that are so important for this Flyers team.
A nice finish to the third quarter here for the Flyers. They've cut the margin to 10. There's a time for a late score here. They need to get a shot up. Andrews, can it be George? Tries to feed it back to Andrews. It's come unstuck, and that'll do us as we turn for home here at John Cain Arena. We've got a big last quarter coming up. A nice run to end the third from the Flyers. It is the Capitals leading 66-56 at 3-quarter time. We'll see you on the other side of the break for a massive last quarter.
You gotta do it now. We're never going.
It's three-quarter time at John Cain Arena in the WNBL26 season opener between the Southside Melbourne Flyers and the University of Canberra Capitals. The Caps got out to as much as a 22-point lead during that third quarter before the Flyers made a late run for it. They've cut the margin to 10 points at three-quarter time, and here we go. We've got the last quarter underway. Can the Flyers carry on with the momentum? Will Blitzards get the Caps back on track? It's not to be on that occasion. Morel, though, fighting hard for the rebound.
And I said in the third, if the Flyers can chip it back to 10 points, they're still in this game. What they need to come out with in the start of this fourth quarter is defensive intensity, pressure. They need to get stops, and then they need some ball movement. Get cutters, off-ball screens, actions. But I think we're in for a good one in this last quarter, ladies.
They've got an early stop, the Flyers. Can they capitalise when it matters most? Kayla George feeding Reed, who's having a great day for the Flyers. She's up to 20 points.
Exactly the ball movement that you're asking for, Beck. Another stop here, and the momentum has well and truly swung the Flyers' way.
Kept alive by Blitzards. Melbourne step back. Three is good. As we get down to Megan, courtside.
Well, no one was more relieved than Caps coach Paul Goris to see that Jade Melbourne triple go down, because his final message to his players at three-quarter time was, we are built for this. We're built for fourth quarters. It didn't get off to the perfect start for the Caps, but they believe they can outrun and out-physical the Southside Melbourne Flyers in this final term.
And you see the Flyers have actually gone for the matchup to suit the Caps. They've gone bigger. So you see George and Peters in the 4-5, but then you actually see Izzy Board in the 3, which I think we might see a little bit more this season. That makes them better, longer, more versatile. But Sir Blitzards goes, I don't care how long your arm is, I'll shoot the ball over you. She's on fire tonight.
17 points, 8 rebounds. What a comeback it is. Bourne for a couple. Responds at the other end. The preseason MVP winner is coming into this season in good form. She continues her rising career. 12 points the way the Caps. Melbourne loses it, wins it back. Good defense and pressure applied by Andrews. Trying to find Sissoko, and that's a good stop for the Flyers.
Now another forced turnover. The Caps got to look after the ball if they want to keep this margin, but conversely, the Flyers have done such a better job in this third quarter of looking after possession. We know they had 12 turnovers at halftime. They're only up to 15 now, but they only had 2 turnovers in that third quarter. That is the difference. When you're trying to fight back and peg back a 20-point lead, you have to look after the ball, and that's exactly what the Flyers did in the third.
George misses her attempt. Melbourne cleans it up. Sissoko. Blitzards are now back to Melbourne. Takes on a couple of Flyers. And that is a foul.
And that was a great defensive possession by Bourne. She just read Melbourne. She knew she had her head down. She wanted to get to the rack. She stepped in and she took that charge.
You spoke about the Flyers needing some ball movement. I think the Caps are in a similar position here. They're feeling the pinch a bit. They're feeling that the Flyers are starting to peg it back and the momentum starting to swing their way. And it's just looking a little bit stagnant out there. It's looking a little bit like they're trying to force the issue. They've got to get back to what was working for the first 3 quarters, which is the ball movement, the cutting off the ball, and the defensive pressure that turns into offensive momentum for them.
And that's when it gets hard. You know, you're 12 points up, but there's only 7 minutes left. You don't want to play like you're trying to keep the lead. You just need to do what works best for you. But we see Izzy Bourne heating up in this last quarter, and we've been asking for that all game, and to see her get a couple of shots go down, this could be an interesting one for the Caps now.
The margin's down to 9 points. Flyers have the momentum in the last, but they need to make it count on the scoreboard. Caps with possession, Melbourne to inbound, to Morel. Back to Melbourne, gets around Peters, hands it off to Poch. Look to go inside to Morel, but it's come unstuck again. Rochi to Reed, who's having an outstanding afternoon, and the Flyers are coming.
Great pass by Rochi, and what a phenomenal run down the lane by Reed. She has really put her pace on show here tonight.
Blitzarves to respond at the other end. That's a settler for the Caps. Kayla George to Rochi. It's no good. Blitzarves drew the contact. Caps by 8 points at quarter time. By 10 at half time, they got out to as much as 22 points clear in the third quarter before the Flyers made a late run at it. They cut the margin to 10 at three-quarter time. And we're in for a grandstand finish with the final 6 minutes of play here at John Cain Arena. A great healthy attendance. Watching on. Sissoko hands it off to Poch. Looks to go back to the Unicorn. And it's going to stay with the Caps.
Bit of hesitation from the Caps there. I thought that there was a few shots that normally we'd see let fly. One from Jade Melbourne in the corner. Unicorn might have hesitated a little bit before she took it. It's tough. Momentum is a funny thing, and that confidence that you feel just starts eating away a little bit when you feel the pressure of the other team coming at you. The Caps have got to get back to what works, start being aggressive again, exactly like we see from Suzuki there, taking it hard to the rack. And when things aren't going well for you, get to the free throw line and get a cheapie.
On the Amy replay, this was brilliance by Katie Sissoko. And that's experience for you.
Make some noise in your seats.
She's at the line. Can't get it done. Caps hang on to an 11-point lead, just over 5 minutes to go in the ball game.
Nine of 15 from the free throw line tonight, the Caps. Coach Paul Goris will not be happy about that. They're the cheapies that you have to convert, especially in the fourth quarter.
Seen a few nervy moments from both teams out there. Round one can always be a bit of a nervous time. Bowyer misses. Still time enough for the Flyers, if good enough. Caps looking to settle. Morel gives it off to Sissoko. Now Melbourne. She takes on her enemy, Rochi. Just can't find the finish. Important moment for the Flyers. Bourne capitalises.
Nice poise from Bourne there too. She could have rushed that shot to try to make sure she got it off before the defender caught up to her, but she took her time, gathered herself, and made the two under pressure.
Another important turnover. Rochi, oh, it just slips through the fingers. And it's going to go out of play from Peters. 16-14 the turnovers today, just over 4 minutes on the clock. As we head to a timeout here in the last quarter, the Capitals leading the Flyers 76-67. So this afternoon, Kayla George moved up to third place in the WNBL's all-time points list. And she overtakes the great Shelley Sandy on screen, who was incredible 5,204 points, and George increased her tally to 5,205 a couple of moments ago with a 4th point for the Flyers here today. She just continues to create more history as Kayla George. Let's get down courtside to Megan Huswaite, from one legend to another. Megan.
I'm with the GOAT of Australian basketball and WNBL Special Advisor Lauren Jackson. What a way to start a new era, LJ.
I know, it's fantastic. It does feel like the dawn of a new day for us, and I know myself as well as all the past players are just so excited to see what's next for women's basketball.
Wonderful to see so many new and familiar successful faces. I want to ask you quickly about Nadia Potts. She was a teammate with you in the Flyers Championship. It's fair to say she's broke out today.
Yeah, absolutely. Nards has been incredible, but you know, I'm so happy as well for Sarah Blitzarves. Like, the way she's playing, I'm calling MVP of the league this year. I don't know, I feel so much energy coming from her, but yeah, Nards is awesome.
Lauren Jackson, a big call from our GOAT for Sarah Blitzarves, MVP.
Oh, thanks to Lauren and Megan downstairs. What do we think of that call? Sarah Blitzarves for MVP. Carly, you like it?
I certainly do. I think most of the basketball community would really enjoy seeing her win the MVP this year. She's just such a phenomenal basketball player for this country, and she's done so much on the world stage, and she's done so much for the Women's National Basketball League.
She's had a great day. 19 points, 9 rebounds for Sarah Blitzarves. The Caps are hanging on to a 9-point lead. And Beck, you feel like the Flyers are throwing everything at them at the moment. They've just kept them at arm's length all match, the Caps.
They have. The Flyers have done a great job in this quarter, though, forcing Caps into turnovers, as well as just lifting that defensive intensity. And George can just not buy a basket tonight, unfortunately. But if they can get the ball movement and off-ball action that I've seen in this 4th quarter, they can get this W, but they need to get consecutive stops in order to do that.
Oh, that basket would have brought the house down from Kayla George. And the intensity continues to grow out there. Great scenes at John Cain Arena. Great attendance in to watch this season opener of a brand new era in the WNBL competition. And we've been treated to a great contest to kick us off.
And again, Flyers sub Izzy Bourne back on, going for that bigger lineup and match up against the Caps, which I am really liking tonight.
Melbourne calling the shots. Goes herself, just can't get it to go down. Rochi looking for Bourne. And that'll remain with the Flyers. Bourne, there's 16 points and 9 rebounds in her club debut. Free to Rochi. Now George. Back to Rochi. Oof, big contact.
It's very nearly an unforgivable sin there from the Canberra Capitals. They weren't quite ready. They were still in their huddle when the ball was entered. It was nearly an easy one. They were a little bit slow to react, but were able to recover. Hard foul on Maddie Rochi. She'll go to the line and have to earn it.
But that's the off-ball action I'm talking about. They're playing her up and in. She feeds the ball into Kayla George at that pinch post action. All it takes is one little small jab step, get back into that back door, and she gets to go to the line. So I really like those actions for the Flyers currently.
Important free throws for Maddie Rochi and the Flyers. 2.5 to play. Munga wants to feed it inside to Blitzarves, kicks it out to Morel. Sissoko hands it off to Melbourne, gets around Reed, puts it up for 2. He should beat the buzzer. Two minutes left. Bourne on Melbourne. She gets it done. Margins cut to 7. They'd love a stop here, the Flyers. and they get it through Rochi. Hands it off to Kayla George. To Bourne, and they can settle to Rochi. Back to Kayla George. She's got a couple to beat. Can't get it done. Less than 90 seconds to go.
Big defensive stop there from the Canberra Capitals. I think I heard all of the Caps fans in the crowd take a collective sigh of relief. A score then would have really made a big difference, but 1 minute to go.
As Munga adds a couple more and some breathing room. She's pumped up too.
She is. That was a big score.
Plenty of Caps fans in the house tonight. Half their team is from Victoria, so yes, they do have a lot of support in the crowd as we head to a timeout here in the last quarter with 1 minute and 4 seconds on the clock. It's the Caps 80 leading the Flyers 71. Make sure you download the free WNBL app to catch every score, story and stat. It is the fastest way to stay courtside with the WNBL. Scan the QR code now on your screen. It is a fantastic resource. We have a huge final minute of play coming up. Beck and Carly, what do you think's going to happen?
I feel nervous. Same here. What is going on here?
It's been such an amazing game, and it's been, it's swung. We've seen one team dominating. It's come back to see the other team dominating. It feels so tight in this last final minute. I mean, yes, we've had the Caps are up by 9 points, but a minute is a long time in basketball.
Will the Caps hang on, Beck, or will the Flyers get it done?
I believe the Caps will hang on. I just think they have a lot of experience and players on their team, and Flyers are just very new. They've been fighting all game to get back. Look, the fight is not over. Like you said, Carly, a minute is a very long time, but I think if the Flyers can get a few stops, they're still in it to win it.
Let's get to Megan courtside with an update from the Flyers huddle.
We don't need to be desperate, but we do need to be quick. That was the message from Coach Christy Harrera. Bourne was meant to be the decoy. Oh. She hasn't quite got that one into the basket. They're going to look to go to Triple Olympian Kayla George.
An early chance goes begging after the timeout to the Flyers. Time now becoming an enemy. The Caps looking to hold on. They give it to Munga in the corner. Comes up short. All or nothing now for the Flyers. Rochi to Peters, their boom recruit from the top of the arc. Can't get it to go down. And Sissoko, one of the new faces for the Capitals, wins the rebound. It's in the safe hands of Jade Melbourne as the seconds tick down. Sissoko. Peters has turned it over. Melbourne with the last say of the WNBL26 season opener. They wanted to build a roster to make a statement this season, and they hang on with an important round one victory. The Capitals take down the Flyers 80-71 at John Cain Arena. They led by 8 at quarter time, by 10 at half time. They opened up a 22-point gap in the third quarter before the Flyers came home in a flurry. They cut the margin to 10 at three-quarter time. They had their moments in the last, but it was cool, calm and collected from the Capitals camp. And they notch up an important first victory in front of a great crowd at John Cain Arena to usher in a new era of the WNBL competition. Can the Flyers move up the ladder in season 2025-26, so will we see the Caps return to finals action for the first time since 2022. A great game of hoops to get the new season underway. Jade Melbourne was fantastic. She finished her day with 15 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists. It was Sarah Blitzarves in her return to the competition, leading the way with 19 points and 9 rebounds.
And you see right there how much it means to the Caps to get this first win. As soon as they won, they got their arms around each other because it is a big momentum changer, and we see co-captain Sarah Blitzarves in her return really get amongst her team and let them know how proud she is. I just think what a stage we have put on at John Cain Arena, and the talent we have. This is just the start of this season.
Well, if this is a taste of what we're going to get in WNBL26, you do not want to take your eye off the competition. There's Tina Akuzo as well, unfortunately not out there today. We look forward to welcoming her to the new season. It's been a lean few years for the Canberra Capitals. They are hungry to return to the postseason and potentially add a record 10th title to their name. As we head down courtside to Megan Huswaite with our player of the game.
Well, Sarah Blitzarves, it's been 4 years since the Caps got a win in round one, and what a performance that was. Does your smile tell the story?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's just great. I'm really happy with the girls. We have such great chemistry and we're building every day, and I think to get that win, especially that little scary comeback that the Flyers gave us, it's like really good hope for the season ahead.
Was that a good little challenge to have? Because you did have the game on your terms at times, so was it good to have that late to overcome something like that so early in the season?
Yeah, absolutely, and I think it just gives each and every one of us a little bit of confidence that we can do it as well. And you know, there's a lot of things to clean up, you know, same with Flyers, a lot of things for them to clean up too, and I just think we're going to get better and better throughout the season, and I'm really excited for what we can produce this year.
Well, Caddy Sissoko has been labelled a unicorn. Are you happy with that term?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, she's phenomenal. I'm like, honestly, probably one of the best imports I've ever had the privilege of playing with. She is just the nicest human ever. She has so much energy, and she's an absolute weapon out on court as well. So I think we're just going to see the best of her this year.
Well, we're seeing the best of you, and we love to see it. Sarah Blitzarves has been declared league MVP by Lauren Jackson, an early call.
Yeah, I know. She loves me.
She does love you. As we welcome in now the French import, it is bonjour to Caddy Sissoko. Congratulations on the win, and a win for you on debut.
Yeah, super excited. I'm really proud of my team, and I can't wait for the season to start. Like, I'm super excited.
How fun is this group? It seems to be evident in the preseason, the way you played today. There's a lot of enjoyment. Is that shining through for you?
Yes, obviously, as soon as we met each other, we just had that connection. So it's really nice to see that we can like actually produce on the court all together and have fun.
You have been labelled a unicorn, and I believe you're happy with being called a unicorn. What does it mean to be one?
Honestly, I'm just trying to focus on my game and trying to like use my versatility to my advantage, offensively and defensively, and I've been having fun with that, so I'm pretty excited.
Well, we're pretty excited to see you in full flight today. Look forward to doing so all season. Caddy, congratulations on a great debut.
Thank you.
Great work, Megan. Great scenes at John Cain Arena. A big win to the UC Capitals in round one against the Flyers. We'll be back after the break to wrap it all up on the other side. Capitals get an early round 1 win against the Southside Melbourne Flyers at John Cain Arena. And they beat the Flyers by 80-71. They survived a late scare to notch their first round 1 victory in 4 years. Wonderful scenes at John Cain Arena in front of a healthy crowd. It was an impressive victory as we head courtside and check in again with Megan Huswaite with a couple more very special guests. So we might check in with Megan a little later on, but she did have the 2 Poch sisters with her, Beck and Carly. We look forward to seeing that matchup develop throughout the season as well, but so great to see the Poch sisters, who were some of the rising stars in women's basketball at the moment. Really looking forward to what they're going to produce in the season ahead.
I can't wait. We have the younger sister, Manny, who had an incredible off-season with the junior national team, getting the silver medal at the World Cup. And then we have Nadia Poch, the older sister, who hopefully is using this WNBL stage to really project her into that WNBA level.
And Carly, what impressed you the most about the Caps? Because in round 1, the first game, you're always going to have a bit of nerves. I mean, we saw that from both clubs out there today, and you're getting used to new combinations and starting to gel as a team. But to be tested like the Capitals did today against the Flyers and still come out with a win, they must be really impressed with the way they went about it.
Yeah, I think that they will be, and Coach Paul Goris, I think, will take that out of the game, that momentum really did shift in that third quarter and early in the fourth, and the Caps didn't crumble. They kept their heads. Yes, there was a few times when they looked a little bit shaky, but in the end, they regrouped. They were able to execute down the stretch and really hold on to that win, which is so important as the first win of the season.
So there's a lot for the Caps to take out of today, but Beck, so too the Flyers, I think, to finish with a wooden spoon last year. And again, they've got a really new look roster, but they were in this game and they made a late run for it. So plenty of positives to take away for them.
There really is. The fact they didn't give up and make that a 20-point loss, they stuck with it. They dug deep. We had the likes of Tara Reid, who I said will definitely see her bring something and a new level to her game this season. But again, they're gelling. They had Peters, who came in about a week ago. And so for them, the Southside Flyers, they're just going to build and build each game.
So let's head back to courtside and check in again with Megan Huswaite. Over to you, Megsy.
Well, we've got some beautiful family connections in the WNBL this season. Players whose mothers played in the league and 3 sets of sisters, including the Poch sisters, who went head-to-head this afternoon. It was you, Nards, taking the honours. Great for the Caps to get their first opening round win in 4 years, but is it even better to have bragging rights against Manny?
Oh, yes, always. Like any other family in the house, in the world. It's always good to beat, your siblings, so yeah.
And Manny, you took the honours, though, last year because your first ever WNBL points were a result of your sister fouling out of the game. So that had to be a memorable one.
Yes, it is. I brag it to every day, so it's great. But there's more to come, so we'll keep up.
And Nard's fantastic performance today as well. Did you feel like it was a wonderful start, the way you want to start the WNBL?
It was really, it was tough for us, which is a good thing. I mean, we're all ready, and I think I felt really ready going into this first game. So yeah, I'm really happy with how I went. But again, our team's so incredible, so it helps to be able to perform the way I did and have people around me. So, I mean, I have such a great team, so it helps to me be who I am and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
2 rising stars of the competition. Sisters, I'll let you have a cuddle. Go on.
Maybe no love lost there between the 2 sisters, Nards and Manny, but they are 2 of 7 siblings, and they have 16-year-old twins coming through as well. So we may see the Poch sisters double in the next few years. But these are the match stats. It was the Capitals by 9 points in the end. Carly, what stands out to you?
Well, the 3-point shooting percentage from both teams, really not where the coaches will want it to be. But as we've spoken about, there are nerves in game 1. Pre-season is short. It was a big stage, but 23% for the Southside Melbourne Flyers. They have some great 3-point shooters in their team, so that's something they'll definitely be looking to improve next week.
So Beck, we're back in a big way for WNBL26. Still so much basketball to come this weekend. It's Geelong and Sydney tonight. What are you looking forward to about that matchup?
Again, new faces, new name, Geelong Venom. Get ready for it. So make sure you all stick around because we have some amazing talent here in the WNBL.
Absolutely. So cannot wait to see what unfolds tonight. And we do have a couple more matches to come tomorrow. It is a brand new era of the WNBL competition. Love to see so many people in the house tonight at John Cain Arena. They witnessed a great game of WNBL hoops. It was the Caps by 9 points. They've notched their first round 1 victory in 4 years. Will we see them return to the finals for the first time since 2022? We are in for an incredible WNBL 26 season. And if this is a taste of what's to come for the rest of the year, you do not want to keep your eye off the WNBL. Thanks for your company.